Morning. Now, the Department of Transport has confirmed that various names of late struggle stalwarts are being considered ahead of the renaming of the Cape Town International Airport, and the process could be concluded by the end of this year. The names include that of former President Nelson Mandela, Albertina Sisulu, Winnie Madikizela-Mandela, and Sobukwe. The SACP has also requested Chris Hani's name to be also considered. This comes after Economic Freedom Fighters Commander-in-Chief Julius Malema called for the airport to be renamed after Winnie Madikizela-Mandela. But to find out about the processes involved in changing a geographical name, we now joined in our studios in Johannesburg by Johnny Mohlala. And Johnny Mohlala is the chairperson of the South African Geographical Names Council. Good morning to you. Thank you so much for coming through.
Morning.
Just before we talk about the processes, maybe it's best to first understand the mandate of the council.
The mandate of the council is to deal with what we call standardization of geographical names. Standardization means that we have to look at correction of, among other things, vulgarized names, offensive names, and wrongly spelled names. On the other side, we are tasked with actually ensuring that there's public participation before any name can be approved for naming or renaming. Lastly, we are tasked with ensuring that we capacitate all provinces so that they are in a position to can deal with issues of naming and renaming in a manner that is envisaged by the Act, the South African Geographical Names Act 118 of 1998. So we are a statutory body which serves as an advisory council to the Minister of Arts and Culture.
Okay, so you are indeed involved as well in this process of the renaming of the Cape Town International Airport.
That's actually our mandate. Now, how it actually goes about is that we consider applications from ordinary citizens. By ordinary, I mean each and every member of the South African community. We view them as ordinary citizens. We are never ever involved in naming or renaming out of a public announcement. We have to have an application. So any person who wants any feature to be named or renamed has to fill up an application form.
All right. So yes. At this current moment, have you received any applications on the names that I made mention of on my introduction?
We haven't received any application, and I will tell you why. Airports are in the domain of Airport Company South Africa, ACSA, which falls within the Department of Transport. So a process will then ensue at that level. Once it has been completed at ACSA and the Department of Transport, it will then be deposited with us for consideration. And after we have decided, our decision in the main is a recommendation to the Minister of Arts and Culture. It's only then that the name can be gazetted. How long will the process take? It will take nothing less than 4 months from where I'm sitting.
All right, but at this current moment, nothing formally received in terms of
nothing formally received at the South African Geographical Names Council. Incidentally, we are having our meeting on Friday to consider other names, but not names of airports. And I'll be disingenuous if I say we are not aware of processes around naming and renaming of all airports in South Africa, not necessarily the Cape Town International Airport. And the names that have been thrown in the bag are in the public domain. So if I say I know nothing about that, I'll be lying.
You'd be lying. Yes. But for other airports, have you received any formal applications?
The only indication of airports that needs to be changed as a matter of extreme urgency are the 3 airports in Northern Cape. About 3 weeks ago, I had to travel to the Northern Cape to meet with the executive of Northern Cape, that is the Premier and all MECs in the Northern Cape, to look at the possibility of changing the following: Kimberley, Upington, and Sishen airports. So it's work in process.
Yes. So far. Yeah. But maybe just bring an understanding to us in that as to what kind of places are defined as geographical sites so that we can understand.
Geographical features include and are not limited to: 1, dams, rivers, towns, human settlement, mountains, post offices, police station, railway stations, enclosed dams and gorges and all sorts of other things. Those are geographical features.
Yeah.
We do not deal with naming of public places, which will be your streets, your cemeteries, your parks, and your museums.
All right. Now, in conclusion, we've seen, of course, lots of names being thrown in here. Winnie Mandela, Nelson Mandela, Albertina Sisulu, Robert Sobukwe, the SACP coming out to say, add Chris Hani's name there for the Cape Town International Airport. What happens in such an instance where you have lots of names, of course, of struggle stalwarts, and you even get objections from some people to say, not that one, but this one?
Everything will be decided based on a function of a process of consultation.
Okay.
So we are going to go out and consult the people of South Africa, and in the main, the people of Western Cape, on the naming or renaming of Cape Town International Airport. But like I said, we are going to embark on a similar process for Port Elizabeth, East London, Umtata, Pietermaritzburg, and all other airports in South Africa.
So you go around and consult with the public before that decision is taken.
So as to what name will finally sit on what airport, it will be a function of a process of consultation and public
participation. It looks like it's going to be a difficult one, though.
It is going to be tedious, not necessarily difficult. No, it's not something that we have never done before. So it is going to be a very tedious exercise, bar objections. Because even after that, you'll still get objections. I might point out that we went through a process of changing the name of Grahamstown. We are sitting at a point where now we received objections, and it's those objections, among other things, that we are going to consider on Friday. So that the process becomes as transparent as humanly possible. All
right. I believe we have to leave it at that for now. Of course, this is an unfolding issue. Surely we'll have you back in studio with us here some other time. Thank you so much, Johnny Mohlala.
Let me thank you and thank your listeners in their eminence.
Thank you so much. Johnny Mohlala is the chairperson, of course, of the South African Geographical Names Council, talking to us about the process of changing geographical names like those recently proposed for the Cape Town International Airport. And Johnny Mohlala saying it's going to be a very tedious exercise. It's not an easy one. We're taking a quick ad break here on Morning Live. We'll give you an update on the memorial service of the late Dr. Zola Skwiya.